So, welcome to the latest episode of Swim Tips from the Shed. Unfortunately, I'm not in the shed at the moment, and apologies if you missed the first few episodes and you're not quite in on the joke. But initially last year during lockdown, we did Swim Tips from the Stairwell, where I set up a hastily created set of swim courts to offer some Zoom lessons. So from there, we've relocated. My wife's works at a hospital, so we've moved, and now I have a little bit of a garden, and right behind me is the shed where a lot of the magic happens. Sessions are created, sessions in a bottle are stored, the training plans happen, and I just generally sit out there. It's a posh shed, I might add. It has carpet and a heater, but it is just a little bit overcast, and it's a shame that spring hasn't arrived yet, because obviously our lake currently, along with most others, 10 degrees, suffering a little bit, and it would be lovely to have some warmer water to get into. So swim tips from the shed. I'm near the shed. I'm not in it today, but anyway, I hope you're okay. Pools reopened this week. I hope you've had a chance to get in the water. Just to clarify where we are, we have our lake open, has been for a few weeks now, and we have London Fields Lido opening on Sunday, which will be great for us to run a group fitness session there. Unfortunately, the indoor fitness sessions won't be allowed to take place until May, so that's got a way to go yet. But also, we do have one-to-one lessons available at the Nuffield Gym in Shoreditch. So glimmers of hope. Things are moving and things are getting better. So we're excited that that's happening at long last. Had some got another session written for the outdoor swimmer. I had a little bit of a break writing for those guys, but I'm excited to be back in that magazine. Look out for them next month. I've got a nice intro session, and that will be printed in, I don't know, usually comes out in the middle of the month. I'm not too sure, but if you get that, look forward to your feedback about how you got on doing that session. The other big thing happening soon is the Outdoor Swimming Society. We created a 7-week plan leading up to their big summer event, the virtual longest day swim, and I hope that goes well. Now, when you create a training plan, obviously, and I think if you speak to most coaches, there's nothing quite like being on poolside and working directly with a group of swimmers. The minute you don't know who your audience is, things get a little bit more complicated, a little bit trickier. So when asked to create something that's going to be given away to a broad audience, we don't know where people are starting from, don't know how fit, healthy they are, what their swimming was like before lockdown. I don't think there's ever been a time like it, really, in order to prepare. So if you're looking at the Outdoor Swim Society training plan, and don't be too stressed about, the numbers from couch to 5K. It is a fairly gentle return to swimming. Nobody says you have to swim 5K on the longest day. It's just a name that we went with, and hopefully it catches the attention and inspires you to give it a go. Hopefully, at the very least, get off the couch and go swim, whether that's in the pool, in lake, river. The other problem with doing a training plan with so many different environments to account for, whether we're allowed swim toys, not everyone's going to be able to do all the strokes. So we look at it's front crawl based. It is also time based. So it can be done in an open water body. So it doesn't rely on 50 meters of this, 25 meters of that. So I just wanted to clarify a couple of points before you get started on this training plan. There are some drills involved. They are available to watch. If you have any questions about them, you can get in touch with me, Dan at swimfortry.com, and I will do my best to elaborate on them. Now, the other thing that came up quite a bit was, how do I swim 5K given 7 weeks of training? And some of the sessions are quite short. Well, obviously they had to be quite short because no one's really swum much in the last 4 months. So in order to slowly make progress and build your progressions in and get fitter, stronger, faster, it has to be fairly gradual. 7 weeks is not a lot of time to do that. So, draw from this some positives. If you manage to do all 7 weeks at 3 sessions per week plus some extra, you could be swimming 40 to 50 kilometers. And that would be a significant amount of swimming to be done over the next 7 weeks. That would, give you a pretty good chance of finishing a 5K event. Now, it won't be for everyone. Some people will still be working on their technique. Some people's techniques will be better than others. Everyone's unique. Everyone's different. So, it is to help you return to swimming. And hopefully it will do that very well. Some of the sessions are make use of some of my favorite sort of basic drills, and they will help you get faster. It's as simple as that. Improved technique with some fitness will make for a faster swimming. You don't necessarily need to be a faster swimmer. Often what we need to do is just tick over for longer at a steady effort, and you will swim further. Given the same amount of energy that you started out with, it will just last for longer. So there's benefits and ways to measure the success of this in a few different ways. So it was probably one of the tougher training plans I've had to do. And if you look at our little training plan store, the website, we've written quite a few. Because obviously there's a lot more understood if you choose to want to swim 1 mile in a 25-meter pool, if you want to swim 5K, having done a bunch of open water swims, there's a lot more standardized points to start from. So this was quite unique and quite challenging. So if there's anything that's really not clear, get in touch. But what we're hoping for is that it just inspires you to go and train, gives you something to follow. And be accountable to. I find that's important. That's really important. Going back to the drills, obviously if you haven't got swim toys, if you're in the sea and you're swimming parallel to the beach, it may not be the easiest thing to nip in and out, put your fins on and off and go back in and out. So look to some of what I refer to as faster drills, things like fist clenched. That's a faster drill, can be done without fins. It's a minor modification to your full stroke. Single fist clenched is another easy variation, but delivers a lot of benefits. Something like glute kick, where you literally put your hands on your buttocks and onto your glute muscles, and you can feel the straight leg returning up to the surface. Unless you're quite a good kicker, that's without fins, that's going to be quite tough. So, pick and choose suitable drills. There are a selection on that website, the sessioninabottle.com, the video drills option. There's a wide range. So depending on whether you're allowed kit where you are or whether it's safe to use, then that's maybe something to consider and contemplate. Also the temperature if you're outdoors. Like I said, a lot of our swimmers are only getting, at the moment, sort of 5 to 10 minutes swum in 10 degrees, even with wetsuits, neoprene hats, boots and gloves. It's pretty chilly in there. So again, that's not going to help us in these early weeks until it warms up a bit, accumulate the sort of distance that ideally, if conditions were perfect, you'd be looking at to swim 5K in 7 weeks' time. So, look at this as some guidelines, and it is not the strictest. If you want a strict offer of swimming 5K, then join me on poolside, and I know that's not possible, but that's the only way I could be happier about doing that. The other thing, so I mentioned that you don't necessarily need to swim much faster, but for steadier, for longer. And as your technique improves, that'll happen. I mean, you will get faster in terms of, swimming from A to B in a certain time as your technique gets better, as your stroke needs less effort. I'm fond of saying that, swimming can be a little bit, more splash, more bubbles, more effort, it gives an illusion of feeling strong and fast, but it rarely delivers speed in the water. If you look at the best swimmers, they make it look easy. And there's a reason for that. They have to swim thousands and thousands of meters on a regular basis, and they've worked out how to do it the best possible, the easiest way for them. So, that's where they're coming from. So as your technique improves, you will get better. There's a simple little test set. If you are interested in sort of a measurement, what you can do is, I think we set 12 minutes, swimming 50 meters with a short rest period. And then later on, towards the end of the session, we doubled the time to 24 minutes. And, you know, as your fitness and technique improve, you should be able to match double the amount of 50 meters you swam with the same recovery. Hopefully you add a couple more 50 meters. That would be amazing. So, you know, that's an option if you are wanting to take things, you know, and get a measure and just see where you're at. But work on your drills, work on the steady swims, work on the faster swims. Be diligent. Just try to, even if it's too cool, if it's too cold to get in for as long as you need, you know, keep returning. I'm also fond of saying that one swim per week is 6 days of unlearning. So hopefully that makes some sense, in that you can't just be in the water for 2 hours once a week and expect huge benefits, huge improvements. That's not quite going to work. I'm going to sign off here. I don't know if you can hear Junior's in the background. He's starting to get a bit grumbly. I'm going to add to these each week and follow the sessions and give some pointers, give some tips. And I hope that really helps you get the most out of the OSS training plan. Enjoy your swimming this week. The sun's out. It's a little deceptive. It's still freezing. If you can get to our lake, Stubbers in Essex, on a Saturday morning, I'll be on poolside, on the lakeside, to help you if you have questions, whether it's just simply how to make your wetsuit a little bit more comfortable, how to sight, how to navigate. We've got qualified coaches there to help. As mentioned, any questions, give me an email, dan@swimfortry.com. Have a good week of swimming, and I will talk to you very soon.